I remember sending 25 applications in one sitting, hitting submit like it was a slot machine. I would wake up in the middle of the night with stress hives on my neck, chest, and back, and not a single reply. It wasn't that I wasn't good, it was that no one knew me. When I finally got my first offer, it wasn't from an online application. It was from someone who referred me because I cold messaged them on LinkedIn. And that one shift changed everything. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and I've probably sent in way more than 25 applications in one sitting. These days, the reality of applying to internships and jobs online feels like a black box. You search on these job boards to find any positions that remotely align with your interests, just to be met with ghost jobs and fake job postings where companies just put them up and they're not even hiring, or malicious people are posting up job applications to try to steal your information. And most of the time, it feels like you're just submitting your resume into the void. You've been conditioned to not expect a response, just get ghosted and never hear back. And the other times where you do hear back, it's an automated AI rejection email letting them know that they filtered your resume out because it didn't have the right keywords or line up with the job description perfectly. Before we dive deeper, I've linked a free cold outreach template below, the same one that we use to help underdog students get referrals without connections. Check out the first link in the description below to grab a copy. I get it because I've been there. It feels like you have no control over the potential outcome of these situations when you're applying through cold applications online on LinkedIn Easy Apply, when you're competing against thousands and thousands of people within the first 2 hours of the posting. It's demoralizing. And that's exactly how I was approaching the internship and job search all throughout college. Until one point in my senior year, right before winter break, I got so fed up with the cold applications, not hearing back, and decided to try to take things into my own hands. After I finished up my finals for that semester, I sat down, locked in, and did some research on the top 20 RIAs and wealth management shops within Pittsburgh. From there, I went through every website, searched for their about page, their team page, and looked through each of the bios of every single person on the team, whether they be actual financial advisors or operations people or legal people, just to try to find something in common that I could latch onto. And a lot of times, at these smaller wealth management shops on their websites, they would have the contact information, emails of the people that were working in their biographies. And so my last ditch strategy was to find anybody who went to the University of Pittsburgh, cold message them with an email, just trying to strike up a conversation, ask for coffee chats, and maybe even referrals. But that is how I was able to finally start shifting the narrative in how applying to jobs works from, I don't know what is going on after I submit my resume into these LinkedIn Easy Applies, to I'm actually talking to real people who potentially could be hiring me one day. The reason why most students default to mass applying is because, for one, it's all you know. If you're not given any guidance, all that you know how to do is search for jobs or internships on LinkedIn, on Indeed, on a Handshake, set up this list of the open applications and submit something. Submit your resume each and every time, going down the list. For two, it's a low effort and low commitment way to actually try to get your name out there. It doesn't take much brain power to find a list of internships or jobs and submit your resume one by one. Yes, it's tedious. You have to go through the whole submitting the same information that can be found on your written resume because of these outdated systems that ask for everything repeated 5 times, but it doesn't take much extra effort to complete these tasks. A monkey could probably do it. And for 3, it's not very time consuming. You can literally apply to 100 internships in one sitting, and probably can do so even more efficiently now these days using some of these AI tools. But this volume approach, even supercharged with AI, clearly doesn't work if you're sitting here watching this right now without an internship in hand. The reason this doesn't work is because you get what you put into this process. If you have a low effort, high volume application strategy and you're just sending your resume to every single opening that has the term finance in it, you're probably doing what everyone else is doing. And if that's the case, you're not giving the hiring manager or recruiter any reason to choose you over the next candidate. When most students are trying to compete in this AI battle where they're using AI to apply to these jobs and the companies are using AI to filter out applicants, instead of going with the masses, do the exact opposite. Apply to jobs thoughtfully, carefully, one by one, with a super tailored approach to each one. Yes, you have to strike a balance between not putting all your eggs in one basket and being able to spread your time across multiple applications to have many opportunities in the pipeline. But the truth is you don't need 1,000 or 2,000 applications or hooks in the water. You honestly just need a handful of solid leads. Would you rather eat at a Michelin star restaurant with 5 options on the menu where you can't go wrong? Or would you rather go to the Cheesecake Factory where they have an AI generated textbook of a menu with thousands and thousands of different options and you don't even know if they can make them, for one. And for two, it makes it so much less clear what you're going to get. The same thing is true when applying to internships and jobs. You can't spend the same time, energy, and level of attention that an application deserves when you have a million of them out there. But you can put an appropriate level of detail into a handful of dishes that you can master and perfect. And so when myself and many of our successful students switched over from this volume game to a more intentional approach to applying, they actually started building a network of people who were invested in helping them in their job search. They started hearing back from applications because they were getting referrals from actual employees in the company. They were able to skip some of the silly phone screening and they actually started to land interviews. A simple breakdown of how we teach students how to get referrals goes something like this. Use LinkedIn or company websites to find people who you're interested in speaking to and who have something in common. A great thread to pull is going to the same university, growing up in the same hometown, volunteering at the same nonprofits, or being involved in the same organizations. From there, you start sending out cold DMs and connection requests with messages. You want to lead with building a genuine connection because nobody wants to feel like they're being used for a referral. And that shouldn't be the end goal anyways. The end goal should be you setting up a coffee chat to learn about what they do and actually build a meaningful relationship with this person as a human being doing the job that you want, rather than viewing them as some sort of referral source or a gateway into a company that you want to work for. And so the way to get people to actually reply to you from these cold messages is to, one, provide value. You might think that would be hard to do as a student with nothing really to offer, but probably the best thing that you have to offer as a student is a pair of listening ears. You can give alumni a chance to share advice with their former self, or a student who's trying to go along that same path, a chance to give back. And as humans, you know we love that feeling. And for two, you have to ask for something in each and every single one of these cold outreach messages. You want to ask for 15 or 20 or 30 minutes of time with somebody on their calendar to actually make a real connection with them, whether that be on the phone, over Teams or Zoom, or in person, which would be best. And so while I'm strongly against the volume approach for cold applying to internships or jobs online, I think instead you should shift that energy and attention into volume cold DMing people who are actually in the roles that you're seeking at companies that you want to work for. That's the sauce. If you want someone to actually see your resume and story, stop mass applying and start building relationships. Grab the outreach template below or apply to join our mentorship program where we teach you exactly how. Let's cook. I'll see you over there.